first impression of the quarterbacks?
You know, I thought both of them made plays. They both went out and led the team the way we expect them to based off of what we saw in practice. Both missed a couple throws, but found ways to make plays. So I was pleased with the performance. Obviously, we got to get on the film, and they're both going to have opportunities to improve, but pleased with the way both of them played.
Coach, what do you think about the continuity of the offense between the two quarterbacks and how you saw the offense run between the two guys?
You couldn't tell a difference from my perspective, and again, it's happening fast, but obviously they're both able to move the ball up and down the field, able to make plays, so I didn't see any difference with either one of them.
Did you think both guys were a little kind of anxious to start off the game? I know Kelly was missing on some, and Trevor was a little hot on some.
You know, I thought everybody was. You know, especially in the run game. Obviously, we didn't come out the way we wanted to, but we settled in. Once we got settled down, we were able to establish a line of scrimmage, run the football, make plays down the field. But I thought everybody was a little bit anxious. They were all anxious to play. But once they settled down, they looked like what we thought they were.
How much of a concern was it to not make those fourth downs early in the game?
You know, it was tough situations. Obviously, we're close to being in field goal range. Coach gave us the call. You know, and not just fourth down, but third down. What happened is early on we weren't in rhythm. We missed a couple plays. You know, had a missed assignment here and there, not on the same page. That resulted in long yardage, and that gives the defense an advantage. We're making rush 3, drop 8. There's really nowhere to throw the football, and then when you try to run the football, they're in position to rally when you got to go, 7, 8 yards. So I think early on we put ourselves behind the chains, and it forced us to get into those fourth down situations that we weren't able to convert.
Coach Dixon, we heard about Lynn J. all August long. Had to be good to see him burst out of the gates the way he did.
No question, because he actually said yesterday after a walkthrough, he said, "Coach, I'm getting nervous." You know, he hadn't been nervous at all in practice, but once we went through game prep, we're here in the Valley, it started to become real for him. But to see him go out there and just do what he does, I think we've all said that he's very, very explosive. You could tell there were still some plays that he just made on his own. He's very, very hard to tackle. So he's a lot like Travis was last year. He's going to have to learn how to play within the system and the design of the run schemes, but he's very, very explosive. And trust me, he got a little bit for getting walked down there and not scoring that touchdown. I said, hey, and I told him, called him to the phone, and I said, hey, man, I tell you guys all the time, you better put it in the box because there's no guarantee that you're going to get the next time. And just happy that Justin was able to finish off that drive.
In the second half there, you saw the future kind of with Galloway, and you saw, you mentioned Lindsay and Justin Ross. How about what those three guys did and the plays they were making there in the second half?
No question. You always worry about when those guys get into a game-type situation. In Death Valley, there's 80,000 fans. It's a little bit different. The intensity is different. You're playing against a different opponent. It looks a little bit different than what you've seen in practice. So really, really happy for those guys to get in and make plays. And it just, confirms what we saw in fall camp, that those guys are capable. And now you see them under the lights. And they got to continue to improve. They're all going to have opportunities to get better throughout the course of the year through practice. But really, really pleased and happy for those guys for them to have success today.
At what point did Braden get healthy, and did you know that he was going to be able to make as much of an impact as he
I think in the spring, the practices that we saw in the spring, we definitely saw those flashes. Now, at his position is tough because he's not just a receiver. He has to be a blocker, has to be physical at the point of attack. So I think we knew last spring when we got him here athletically that he was going to be able to make plays, and now he made the plays in the passing game, and now we want to go back and evaluate and see how he can improve at the point of attack.
You guys knew Trevor could throw it, but what does he need to grow the most, and do you think he will grow the most?
I think just command of the whole system. I mean, you're talking about you have to handle the motions, you have to make the protection calls, you have to do different checks that we have within the system. So the biggest thing is just getting comfortable to where everything is second nature for him. And that takes reps in practice, that takes reps in the game, and that's the area there because I think talent-wise, there's no question how talented he is. It's just we got to get him to the point to where the game is slow. And you can see times where certain concepts that he's had more experience with, he slows down, but there's just some things that over time he'll get better.
The throw he made there in the second quarter, the out all the way across the field, that's the throw I'm sure you guys have seen him make, and the kind of throw his face. A lot of guys can't make that. Is that sort of what separates him from guys, a lot of guys his age?
I would say that's a fair assessment that he's able to make that throw, and he's got a big arm. We all know that. He's got the height to be able to see it, where some guys may not be able to see it to make that throw, and we know he's got the arm. He's just got to continue to develop within the system, and he'll have an opportunity each week.
Coach, only 71 plays today. Obviously, you were playing a lot of guys, though. Overall, were you pleased with the tempo?
Later in the game, after we were able to come in at half and get settled and challenge them, 71 plays. We had a couple of, I think we had a 92-yard scoring drive on 3 plays. It's hard to drive your snap count up when you're scoring quickly and then you're playing a lot of guys in a lot of different positions. So overall, I think that early on the tempo wasn't where we wanted it to be, speed, but I think there were some spots where we played fast, and it's going to be a great opportunity for us to coach, you know, to get them to understand the importance of tempo. And I think that once they go back and watch the film and evaluate the game, they'll see that late in the game, when you can continue to play fast, it wears the defense down.
Tony, how does the process of the quarterbacks change now that they've been on the field and play going into week 2? How do you use the tape and evaluation?
You know, you got to challenge both of them to continue to improve, because they both, you know, led drives, made plays. They both missed a couple throws, so just an opportunity for you to go back and coach those guys that every play matters. Obviously, you know, they both did what they were expected to do and asked to do, and they'll just continue to battle each week. It's tough. You just got to be honest with them, got to be transparent, and push them to get better in the areas they need to improve.
Next week.